Hello there and welcome to this week's episode of Eye on Pod, brought to you proudly by Star Assurance, also Ghana Community Network Services, and the proud media partners are Business and Financial Times. And if you get a copy of the Wednesday edition of BNFT, you should read a lot more about the port and maritime industry. Now, beginning of this year, the Customs Commissioner warned the trading public not to be too smart on the customs people because they are going to be very vigilant. Those important public who have been undercutting the systems and stealing and engaging in thievery, it's going to be a thing of the past because they are on a high alert. Indeed, this week, Customs has impounded a luxurious Audi S5 that was stolen from the US of A and shipped into this country without manifesting that vehicle. It was stuffed into a container with a number of household items like pillows and used mattresses and so on and so forth.
Officials of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority in Tema have seized an Audi S5 saloon car, which was concealed in a 20-footer container, ostensibly to outwit customs officials at the port of Tema in order to escape paying the required duties for the luxurious car.
In the normal circumstances, this should have been an outright seizure. Okay. We should put a seizure notice. It wasn't manifested. It wasn't manifested. So there was some intention. Evil intention very much. Yeah. Very much evil intention.
The car was first placed in the container and all sides covered and filled with used mattresses, used hospital pillows, teddy bears, baby car seaters, kids' bicycles, and a host of other household items. The Chief Revenue Officer Preventive at Customs said his outfit received intelligence and acted appropriately. He said such practices were rife 6 years ago, but due to the vigilance of officers, the numbers have reduced drastically.
It used to be rampant some years back, but of late it's come down.
The Chief Revenue Officer Preventive at Customs advised importers to desist or be prepared to face the full rigors of the law.
I want to advise that the preventive sections have been reorganized. We are now policing every transaction that happens in the port, and so we are on the ground. Whatever happens, we know, and we will make sure they pay the right duties to the state.
He said the car may be auctioned or allocated, whilst the clearing agent could be banned for a period of time.
Anytime such incidents happen, we only have to seize the goods and continue to prosecute the culprit.
Well, so from all indications, customs are on high alert and none of these things are going to bypass them any longer. Beginning 1st February, that's last Monday, Customs has begun implementing the ECOWAS Common External Tariff. But what's involved? What are the percentages? The trading public don't seem to be very happy about this at all, but Customs has explanations.
Doc, have we begun charging the Common External Tariff?
Yes, the implementation started on 1st of February 2016. That was 2 days ago.
I see that was just recent Monday.
Yes, exactly.
So what has changed now in the port as far as tariff is concerned?
Oh, what has changed is instead of the Ghana tariff, the Ghana Customs tariff, we are now using the ECOWAS Common External Tariff. It has come to replace the Ghana National Tariff. Then the ECOWAS external tariff is common to all ECOWAS member states, not only Ghana.
I see. And how is that rate of duties, the common one, different from the Ghana national tariff that you used to, the customs tariff you used to have?
What basically distinguishes the ECOWAS CET from the Ghana one is the band, that's the tariff rate bands. We were having 4 bands, that is the tariff rate. We had 0%, 5%, 10% and 20%. That's what I mean by 4 band rates. But under the CET, we're now using 5 bands. There's an additional band which is 35%. In the ECOWAS CET, the 0% is for essential social goods such as pharmaceutical products.
Okay, like drugs and all.
Yes. So that is
that's zero rated.
Zero rated. Yes, they are zero rated.
It used to be 10%.
It used to be 10%. Yes, but ECOWAS, that's why they refer to it as a essential social goods. Then we go to the 5 band, which is now for basic raw material, and capital goods for industries, for the development of it. So the basic raw material 5%, and those ones are mainly for industries.
It used to be what?
Most of them were at the 10% band.
But the raw material?
Yes, those raw material, most of them were 10%. So
now it's come down to 5%.
It comes down
that
to 5%.
That is supposed to help local industries.
To help industries as raw material.
What other band then?
Then that is the 5% band.
Okay.
So we talk about the basic raw material. Then we talk about capital goods, like equipment, machinery. They also have the 5%. Okay. So that's why I say basic raw material and capital goods.
Okay.
So the capital goods here, we're talking about machinery and equipment. And then even under that category, we have agrochemicals.
Okay.
Agrochemicals to come under that.
5%.
Yes, under 5%, because agriculture, they are used as input for agriculture. So they all come under 5% now. Okay. Yeah. So you can see that over 1,000 commodity lines have migrated from 10%, okay, to the 5%.
Okay.
Because those 1,000 commodity lines and over have been identified as basic raw materials, so that is where they should be.
And you are trying to grow local industries within the
ECOWAS region.
So you want to reduce it to encourage more people to
import them from a third country to produce. Exactly.
Okay.
You see.
So let's move to the other band.
The next band is the 10. That is for intermediate goods, 10%. That is the third band, 10% for intermediate goods.
What are intermediate?
Intermediate means semi-processed, but they haven't reached the final stage. The final stage of production.
Like
the clinker comes under that category, 10%. They are all semi-processed goods. And then for something like even tomato paste, the bulk, the tomato paste, concentrate.
Tomato paste?
Concentrate. Tomato paste concentrate, imported in bulk.
Okay.
Where the industry will come and then add value before packing them for retail sale.
Okay, so it's not tomato paste proper.
No, the final product, the paste packed for retail sale or fall under the last category, 35%. We are coming to that point.
Okay.
But if you bring the concentrate, which is intermediate, at the intermediate stage, okay, which has not received the final production level, which has not reached the final production level or the final transformation level, is deemed as intermediate product and attracts 10%. Are you getting it?
Okay.
Some of the commodities were hitherto 20% under the Ghana tariff, and they have found their way to the 10.
I see.
Because now they've been categorized
as drastic reduction in that area.
Yes, you can see that there is. Then you move to the next, which is the 20% band. That one is for finished products. Okay. The 20% is of finished consumer goods such as your apparel, your shoe, your dresses, household electricals. They are still 20%. You see that over there, Ghana, in the Ghana customs tariff, we're having 2,624 commodity lines, tariff lines. But when it comes to the ECOWAS, we have 2,165. It means we maintained most of the 20%, apart from the few that migrated from 20% to 10, the few that were identified as maybe intermediate goods or yes, apart from those ones, all other 20%
remain
20%.
Okay,
in
so
the
that hasn't changed.
No, that hasn't changed. When it comes to motor vehicles case, it says that, as we say, final consumer goods, motor vehicles fall within that category.
Yeah.
So, in the reason of the ECOWAS Commission, they placed the motor cars. The motor cars, we're talking about your saloon cars, your four-wheel drives. The motor cars, which we classify them under the heading 8703, were classified as final consumer goods. So, 20% flat. Irrespective of the engine capacity, irrespective of the make, 20% import duty.
But it wasn't like that before.
No.
Why?
Ghana, in our Ghana customs tariff, we had 5% for those with the lower CC, okay, cubic capacity. Then 10% for the intermediate one, then 20% for those with more than 3.0 cc
capacity. Yes.
Capacity.
So some vehicles
now
passed in the custom tariff still attracted 20%, but there were vehicles either
beyond 3.0
capacity.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All vehicles below 3.0
they were having 10 and 5%.
Lower than 20%.
Yes. But and the CET.
But now you made all of them 20%.
Yeah, the CET is a flat 20% for motor.
Why should my small i10 1.0 be the same as a 6.0 Tundra?
That is CET. In the case of the saloon cars or the motor cars, as I mentioned earlier, what Ghana did was, no, the 5% can move to 10% instead, but not to 20%. The 10% rate should remain 10%. The 20% rate should remain 20%. So what changed there was only the 5% bands that moved to our 5% rate that moved from 5% to 10. The rest remain the same, 10%.
I see.
And then 20% remain the same. When it comes to trucks, okay, like vehicles designed for carrying goods, that is under our heading 8704. Those ones, Ghana, in the Ghana customs tariff, we were having 5% for most of them.
Most of the trucks.
Yes. ECOWAS moved that to 10%.
Okay.
So we said, okay, for consideration under the supplementary protection list, Ghana would like to maintain the 5%. So you see that we maintain most of them at 5%. The trucks.
Okay.
We did not move. So we deviated from the ECOWAS rate. We did not increase ours.
Okay.
So that is it about vehicles.
The same as it used to be.
Yes. In the case of vehicles, that happened. Yes, because in the case of vehicles.
And then you mentioned that in the other cases where it changed and you went by the ECOWAS tariff, you only moved from 5% to 10%.
Yes, to 10%.
So those were the major changes we saw, only from 5% to 10%.
In the case of the vehicles. The case of the vehicles.
I see.
Yes.
So none moved from 5% to 20%.
No. We made sure that did not happen.
So no,
because of the
import duty on any vehicle moved from 5% to 20%.
No.
Not 5% to even 15%.
No. 5%. They joined the 10% once, and they also cars, small cars.
So in your view, not major changes have occurred as far as that in the area of vehicle is concerned?
Major changes occurred in the CET, the common external tariff, but Ghana submitted a list for consideration, and it's a temporary arrangement just for 5 years, that we cannot move from 5 to 20. The impact will be too harsh on our consumers.
You will review
after 5 years. Yes, it's likely all member countries who sought for that particular arrangement of supplementary protection will come back and then go in line with the ECOWAS CET. Exactly. So this is just a temporary. As I say, it gives flexibility for member countries.
Okay, so for this 5 years,
it's a transitional arrangement.
5 years.
After 5 years, it's likely. There's just a transitional arrangement. Let's go to the fifth band.
35%.
The 35% is a new band to Ghana, but not to the Francophone countries. They had the 35% already. But Ghana is the first time we have seen 35% in our tariff now.
And that people are not taking it easy.
And the 35% is for specific goods. It's specific goods for economic development.
What is that?
And the explanation is that, yes, here you have the resources. Okay, the region is endowed with the raw material, the resources to produce these goods, this category of goods. So why do we import them whilst we have the capacity to produce them not in Ghana, within the region?
What capacity are they talking about if they say capacity? Because the resources may be available, the natural resources may be available, but the industry to turn these resources into finished products are not around. That is why we import them. And you agree that we import a lot of frozen foods, we import tomato paste, we import matchboxes and all of that.
Yes. So how long do we want to continue to be importing all these things? You see, they will tell you in the economy, they tell you demand, that's what drives production. Where there's no demand, people will not produce.
But we're also not producing, and it's a
yes, that's what I'm saying. So you have to start from somewhere.
So are you pushing?
I'm not
state to begin to, make industry viable.
Yes. Yeah, this from ECOWAS, but I think a lot of work and research work went into this for over 10 years, and it involved all member states. They did a lot of research work. It's not just a question of they coming up one day and then getting up one day and coming out with these rates, and then they identify these commodities, and there are very few. In fact, they are just 130 commodities.
The fifth band, which is the specific
economic development, they form just 2.2% of the entire tariff. Just 2.2% of the entire tariff.
But these are the basic ones a lot of people consume. You're talking about frozen foods, cooking oil, tomato paste, things like that.
Yes. So as you rightly said, we have meat and meat offal. Okay, that is your frozen food or for another category. And then yes,
and this is supposed to attract 35%.
They attract 35% within the region, not only in Ghana. 35%. But if you import it from any ECOWAS member state, it's zero. No import duty.
No, but why would I go to Nigeria or Abidjan or Togo to go and import chicken? I mean, we might as well just consume what is in Ghana.
I'm saying where a member state is not able to produce it, but that member state can source it from any member state, the 35% is not applicable there. That one is zero. We are trading among ourselves within the region. But when you go outside the region, that's where you are going to pay 35%.
Well, Iron Pod returns pretty shortly after the break.
I've got no need to worry. I've got no room for doubt. No matter what's coming at me, you'll always be the beautiful I sing about. There ain't no limitations to your amazing grace. Your amazing grace. And there's something about the way your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you.
Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Let go. Let's celebrate 30 years of solid partnership. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
I'll take care of you.
Welcome back from the break. Now, the second phase of the National Single Window Project is about to kick start. Feasibility studies have begun, but how did the first phase go? We talked to some industry players.
The government, through the Ghana Revenue Authority, has started feasibility studies to implement the second phase of the National Single Window Project.
At the moment, we are doing feasibility studies. So officers are going to almost all the revenue bodies and gathering the information and put into a WCA model. So they make sure they eliminate all the duplication and it becomes a perfect system for all of us to operate.
The new system being implemented by Ghana Customs with technical support from West Blue Consulting Limited is in collaboration with GCNet and other agencies operating at the port. Meanwhile, players in the sea trade industry have commended the Ghana Customs and the technical partners for a successful implementation of the first phase of the National Single Window, which included the taking over of classification, risk valuation, and inspection of imports by customs from the destination inspection companies, and the implementation of the pre-arrival assessment reporting systems, PAS.
So obtaining an inspection report is key to the customs clearance. And as such, that process must be efficient, it must be fast, and it must be reliable. This is what the single window is to us as freight forwarders.
The new reporting system, I think it is better. It is much improvement on the previous one.
The feasibility study of the second phase of the project is expected to end in April this year and will be followed by the automation of the processes and the procedures involved. The single window system introduced by government primarily provides the platform for an integrated clearance process to enhance transparency and ease ways of doing business at the port.
With this application too, it is transparent. Like you submit it, you will see the progress of the work. Immediately you submit, it tells you verification, so your document is at the verification stage. If there is something that they need to do, they will reject it. And when they reject, it comes with reasons.
Stakeholders say the smooth nature in which customs took over from the DICs and the new system being operated needs to be overwhelmingly commended.
The new single window has made a big difference in the processing of our inspection reports. I would like to encourage them to continue with the good work that they are doing. I would also like to appeal to them that they consider the Incoterms on the commercial invoices when they are processing our CCVRs.
They attest that the current reporting system is far better, although a lot can be done to improve the system.
One of the things that I would love to see is greater efficiency in populating the import declaration form from the MDA system to the PAS system, because I've realized that sometimes there are delays.
What I would like them to do is the duplication, data duplication, then work process duplication. Currently, when you are applying for your IDF, you attach documents. That's your bill of lading, your parking list, your invoice. You send it to get the IDF. And then when you come in to do the pass, that is, you're coming to do for the application also, you have to attach the same document. That's we believe in IT database. Once I've submitted it, they should have access to it. But currently, they don't have that access. That we have to do that duplication.
Stakeholders hope that as Customs and West Blue Consult work to improve the system in the second phase of the project, the operating officials will grow more conversant with the procedures to enhance the processes.
We are not total out. There are still some few challenges, but they are minor. And we always call on our partners. Once they identify any of the challenges in the process, just call the attention of the operators of this power system.
Well, if you've been used to the Golden Jubilee Terminal, where a lot of unstuffing of containers have been taking place for some time now, you're about to witness a new change, because the Port Authority have decided to move to a very bigger terminal that's all the way in Kpong. The agreement has already been signed, and that project is about to start. All plus more in news and activities happening in and around the port and maritime industry.
Divanning is a process in which landed container is opened, usually in the presence of customs and all contents taken out. It's also called unstuffing of container. Divanning yard is a space where this divanning is done. Currently, in addition to privately owned divanning yards, the Port Authority has two major divanning yards at the Port of Tema, namely the Depot 10 divanning yard at Terminal 1 and the Golden Jubilee Terminal. The Golden Jubilee Terminal, which was commissioned in 2008, sits on some 20-acre land space, spanning an area of 97,412 square meters and comprises a container freight station CFS, a state warehouse, car park, and an open area for unstuffing and storage of containers, banking services and customs and security services. The GJT provides receipt, storage and delivery services. It is the only terminal responsible for receiving and delivering vehicles imported in containers and provides the services in tandem with full container loads FCL, less than full container loads LCL, or groupage container load, and house-to-house receipt and deliveries. However, due to the increase in nature of import coupled with the impending port expansion, the Port Authority is increasing its space for unstuffing of container for a larger space. In this vein, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has signed a commercial contract for the development of the Kpong Divanning Terminal project with a consortium led by the Canadian Commercial Corporation.
The Canadian Commercial Corporation is very pleased to take part of this very important event, and we are looking forward to actually start working on the actual project itself. You know, the actual team will be ready to deploy once the condition precedents of the contract are completed.
This is probably the first that we are signing a contract document in which we have not pre-financed the GPAT, has not pre-financed the design studies. More often than not, we spend money to go through all the engineering design studies and prepare all the documents. Right now we have spent almost close to $1 million or something like that. For this alone, I think it's a mark of your commitment to see to our development as a port authority.
The Kpong Divining Terminal will sit on a land space of about 40 acres, twice the size of the Golden Jubilee Terminal, and will have all the facilities currently at the GJT.
We want to move this community activity to that site with increased capacity. It will have a different way of doing things. There's enough room to store cars up to about 2,000 cars. There will be a customs hall, there will be a banking area for paying.
Our plan basically is to relocate the Golden Jubilee Terminal, which is at the Tema Harbour right now, to this site in Pone. It's going to be a container divining and handling terminal, whereby containers which arrive in Ghana will make its way to the site, just like it's been done at the Golden Jubilee.
Importers would not bear any cost of transferring cargo to the Kpong Divining Terminal site.
The project also includes expanding the road from the Barrier Junction to the site. GPHA was still responsible for moving cargo from the port to the site.
Following the signing of the commercial contract, the Port Authority has also signed a financial agreement with the Canadian Commercial Corporation to begin the construction of the Kpong Divining Terminal. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Richard Anamu, asserted that the relocation of major divining activities to the Kpong Divining Terminal will ease human and cargo traffic at the port area.
The objective is very simple, to see how we can move the human traffic together with the cargo out of the port area to the port premises, so that at least the port can be relieved of the number of people who are to be hanging around this place. We very much appreciate the contribution that CCC, of course with ASCA, they've done so far, and the fact that you spend resources in carrying out the design and survey and preparing all the necessary documents.
He said the authority will also construct a dedicated access route from the port to the Kpong Divining Terminal to facilitate movement of cargo.
We will be spending on tangible projects, a project that you can see in real life, and anything that we spend will generate revenue.
The project will be financed by the Standard Chartered Bank Ghana, whose CEO, Kweku Bedu Ado, commended the Port Authority for its bold initiative to expand the port 4 times its current state.
In terms of the container depot, I think it's going to really improve congestion at this port, hopefully to improve the customer experience. And when I say customer experience, I mean importers, your clients. When the port is more efficient, when circulation is better, and so we are happy that we are starting with this.
He pledged the bank's commitment to partner the Port Authority through its development drive.
Gone quite far. We've been working on the project for some 3 years now. The design stage and the financial stage, they've all been, all the contracts have now been executed. We've had the ceremony for that. What we now want to do basically is in the next 4 to 5 weeks, the contractors will come on site, and then the construction, the work will begin.
The Ghana Community Network Services GCNet has commissioned and handed over a newly refurbished Accra Collection Office of the Ghana Revenue Authority to the Customs Division of GRA. The Jamestown Accra Collection Office, which is the oldest in Ghana, prior to its refurbishment, was in a very deplorable state, hence posed threat to workers and clients who transact business there. In a speech read on behalf of the Commissioner General of GRA, George Blankson expressed optimism that the refurbishment will go a long way to encourage staff to give off their best in the discharge of their duties and also boost revenue collection.
If an office is collecting so much and their environment is not something to write home about, then when you are coming to work, when the officers are coming to work, they will not feel motivated to be in an office where they collect money and the environment is very filthy. So we are very grateful to GCNet.
The Commissioner of Customs lauded the collaboration between GCnet and Customs, which has increased revenue collection in the country.
We will not entertain those infractions that should ordinarily not be permitted. So you have to work extra hard and ensure that the effort that has been put in by GCnet is paid for by your work.
Deputy General Manager of GCnet, Emmanuel Dako, said GCnet has refurbished several offices of customs across the country. He said GCnet will continue to engage their stakeholders in the application process so as to enhance their operations.
For us to deploy the system, and as part of the change management process that normally goes along with it, we thought, why don't we make this environment more congenial, that the officers who work there, it would improve upon the performance, it would make them feel more comfortable, that the clients who come to transact business there would find the ambience more convenient, so that when even they are asked to pay, they will pay willingly, and Jamestown will be able to meet its revenue targets or collect more.
The refurbishment project cost GCnet about 400,000 Ghana cedis.
And there's something about the way your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you.
Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Let go. Let's celebrate 30 years of solid partnership. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
I'll take care of you.
Coming up next are schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those also coming in the next week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate. Next on your screen.
Search is saying it right. I don't know if shipping lines are in connivance and have formed a cartel to frustrate importers and make them pay more on their goods. Almost all the shipping lines are singing one song now, which is "Our system is down." Is it a well-calculated policy by these lines to make containers go on demurrage for importers to incur more charges? Even Maersk Line, which is arguably the best out of the lot, have been infected by the delay virus. What at all do these shipping lines want from importers? In fact, they lie second after customs officials on the league table of people crippling the freight forwarding industry. SECHI, Ship Owners and Agents Association, would want you to come to their offices with evidence of this claim to allow them investigate further, because shipping lines do not find it profitable to make money from demurrages. Seth Nyakun says, "Iron Port, I like the wonderful work you are doing at the port. God bless the Port Authority for such an initiative. This shows the management is willing to listen to our concerns."
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Iron Port. And in the coming weeks, we should be talking a lot more about unmanifested cars that are brought into this country and importers trying to outwit the system. We'll also be talking about the second phase of the National Single Window Project in the coming episodes of Eye on Pod. Let me also say a big thank you to Ghana Oil Company, the MD, Mr. Patrick Akoli, also Robert Tre, Auntie Rosemond, and everybody at GOIL. We know and we are waiting for you to come on board the Eye on Pod family as a sponsor. We're also waiting for you, the West Blue Consult, and very soon we should be announcing our proud sponsors. Like I said, the beginning of the year, this year, Eye on Pod is going to be on 3 major national television channels, and be looking out for more of that. Thank you for watching.